Hi, I'm Diskq. I'm an experimental music producer and synth TikToker, and I'm here at Perfect Circuit to show you how to use Elektron Model Cycles. It's one of my favorite pieces of gear. So this is the Elektron Model Cycles, and it's a 6-track FM Groovebox. So to kind of break down what that means, so 6 tracks just means there's like 6 different slots where you can kind of program patterns, and then a Groovebox basically is kind of like an all-in-one device. And what I like about this in particular is that I feel like FM just sounds really interesting and fun, and it's actually pretty simple to use, which is one of the pros of this device. So I'm just gonna show you guys how I create a pattern. First, I like to always kind of start with some sort of percussive kick. So as you can see, right now, track 1 is highlighted, and you can't really hear anything except for the metronome right now, but what you can do is actually enter grid recording mode. So make sure the recording button is highlighted and you're ready to go. This is kind of how you program it. So you can see there's like 16 notes, and what I'm gonna do is just like do a 4/4 kick, simple 4/4 kick, and put a note at every single first beat. And another thing to note is that right now this pattern is set up to be basically 4 bars, so I'm gonna have to also just like scroll through all the bars and set that up. So now let's hear how that sounds. So yeah, we got that 4/4 kick going, which is, you know, classic, everyone knows that. But what I like to do is, since this is the default, I like to make it a little fatter with a little distortion. And you don't want to overdo it because then it'll overwhelm the pattern, but I really like using that button to just add a little bit of oomph to the sound. Okay, so we got that kick down. So now that we have the kick, I like to add a little bit of a snare. So I'm gonna go back to track 2. I'm just gonna highlight some random notes. Kind of like that, but as you can hear at the end, so just reviewing this, it's kind of like 4 pages, so you can scroll through, but I don't like this part, so I'm just going to edit that and play that again. And then you just got kind of like a groove going, you know, just setting the rhythm. Okay, cool. So I like that so far, but I do also think the snare needs a little bit of a, you know, some sort of modulation, some sort of like interesting texture. So I'm gonna go into some of the other controls here. As you can see, there's so many different things you can do to it, but one of the cool things that you can do is change the color of this. So I'm gonna add a little bit of movement to that snare by modifying it live. So to do that, you actually have to enter live recording mode. You hold the recording button and then press play, and then you can see now I can just start doing stuff live and it'll record it. So you can see there's a little bit of variation. It's always good to add a little bit of life to your snares and percussive melodies. So now we're gonna move on to track 3, where I'm actually going to enter the preset menu, which you can do by holding function and clicking here. And then if you go into factory, that's where all the factory settings are. And each one is a different type of preset. So this one would be like the clapped. And then if you go into FX, which is what I'm looking for, you get kind of like more FXy sounds. So I kind of like this one here. It has a little bit of like a wiggly sound. So I'm just gonna select it by clicking level. And if you go back, you'll see it's changed to a perc type instrument. So yeah, now this is just kind of fun, but yeah, I'm gonna go back to step sequencer mode and just kind of go crazy and just see what happens. Like, I'm just gonna do it on every beat except for the first beat and just see how that sounds. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got a little bit of a wiggly motion now. Now that we have this down, I actually think it's a little bit too much, so I'm gonna take a little bit of it away. And honestly, I just kind of like eyeball it and just see what happens. So, okay. It's sounding okay. I also want to change the quality of this sound as well. So what I'm gonna do is just modify the contour, which basically just kind of EQs some parts of the perc. And also, I want to see if it'll sound good with delay. So you can actually send the delay and modify the quality of the delay. Okay, cool. I really like this actually, because it adds like a kind of like nice undercurrent of rhythm to the back. Okay, but I do want to modify the volume, so an easy way to do that is to lower the volume distortion button. And so it'll just be in the background. And I'm gonna actually add a little more delay. Okay. Cool. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, this is great, but it's just like lots of rhythms and beeps and boops. Like, how do you make it more of like a song? So this is where I actually go into the chord instrument. So it's on track 6 right now. And as you can hear, you can just easily play chords. But one of my favorite features on this device is that you can pick different keys. So here you can see the different keys that are being played. So I'm just gonna look for a key that I feel like would fit this. I kind of like this key right now. And then for now, I'm just going to play around and see what kind of melody I want to make out of this. So something kind of like that. Okay, so I'm gonna use those kind of four notes, and then I'm gonna try live recording this. yeah, while you're performing, you just kind of stay active and kind of go with your intuition. And of course that comes with practice, but it's really fun to modify all the parameters live. Thanks so much for watching. That was Elektron Model Cycles, and I hope that was a little informative, a little fun. But you can find me on socials at Diskq Music on Instagram and Diskq on TikTok, and streaming everywhere, so yeah.